Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's up, man? Happy Wednesday. Yo, y'all know I love a Wednesday. Y'all know we love it on Wednesdays. Miss England always bring the heat. What's going on, yo? I hope somebody been having a productive day today. What's up, Nisi Boo? I see you at the top, yo. Taylor, what's going on, yo? Happy Wednesday, y'all. And Taylor, yo, congratulations to you for being on our team to partner with Miss Val at Hug Don't Shoot for the prom dress stuff. We know that prom and all that basically kind of been shut down, but we still want to try to do some type of fun situation or whatever with that. So thank you for being a part of that leadership team, yo. Like that's what's up. That's a big deal. And you getting your coins too, yo. I love it. King Core, what's up, King Core? How you doing, man? Always good to see you, yo. Yolanda, hey, yo. Y'all gotta welcome Yolanda, yo. Y'all know how people be hitting me up. Miss Joni, I'm ready to be successful. Miss Joni, I want to do this, I want to do that. That, you know how they be bluffing. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought she was bluffing, y'all. I thought she was just another one. But she sent me a message. Then she sent me another message. Then she sent me another message. Then she was all like, yo, send me the link so I can make sure I get on. And Shorty done showed up. That's a success mind right there, yo. Like, welcome, Yolanda. We love to see it. We love when new young people want to be a part of something greater than themselves. And when you actually do what you said you was going to do, which is show up. So you here, man. I hope you get something out of it. This is what we do every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday. It's all about success. But y'all make sure y'all welcome her because it's always good to have new hubdies, y'all. Cool kid, I see you, cool kid, y'all. That's my niece up in here. That's the Beanie Beans, y'all. What's up? Hey, Rob, Missouri. What's going on, Missouri? How you feeling? Always good to see you, y'all. Breezy Breeze. What's up, Breezy Breeze? Hey, Karan. What's up, man? We ain't seen you in like a Wednesday or two. What's up? How you doing? How you been? I hope you've been doing something productive with your time, y'all. Always good to see you, dog. Good to have you here, y'all. Tay, congratulations to Dante, too, y'all. He's also a part of that team. It's a 3-person team, and he's on that team. Him, Taylor, and Summer. So, and Dante, I think this is like your first official leadership project for real, where you in front. So congratulations to you, man. Good to see you doing good things. And if your mommy on here, congratulations, Dante, mom. How you doing? What is up, y'all? Hey, Naeem, what's going on? Always good to see you. Naeem said, I need my first computer. I need my first customer. Hey, they coming, y'all. Don't you even worry about it. Man, listen. Hey, Simone, what's up? Simone, you going to be missing winning Wednesdays because of work? Yo, no, yo, tell work your success come first, yo. Listen, y'all, check this out. We about to let Miss England on here, but remind me, y'all. Y'all know it's only one thing I like more than talking to y'all. That's blessing y'all. When you are blessed, it's mandatory that you bless others. And I got a plan to get rid of some of this, y'all. And we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it, shorty. There she go. Hey, sis.
Okay. Hello.
What's up, sis?
What's up? What's
Hey,
up?
nothing much. You want stinker thing?
How you know?
Cause it say it. It say stinker. Hey,
Oh,
grandma.
yeah. That ain't grandma. That is Katrina.
Oh, hey, Miss Trina.
Oh, don't try to clean it up
No,
now.
hey, Miss Trina. No, look.
I think her
Oh,
glasses
look.
need to be
Cause
wiped.
the,
It wasn't
cause the
there.
hat.
And
You in the background.
that's
You
I
know
got
I'm
you.
old. I can't see. It's too much. The cat messing with me.
Oh, I see the cat. It's so cute.
Trina.
What is up, girl?
Yo, we here, yo.
First of all, wait a minute. Are we going to celebrate the award that my friend received for her wonderful program that is called HeartSmiles?
Uh, uh,
No? All right. Okay, let's leave it alone. Next. Okay, so let's go. So we didn't make that announcement. All right. So, hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? What happened? I'm sorry I had to go off track. You see how I tried to throw my sister some
yo,
congratulations.
cause you crazy, yo, cause you
Shut
crazy.
it down. I just want to do a virtual how proud I am of my sister in her program. How many years? 5? 5 years. I just want to say I'm proud of you, sis, and thank you for opening up doors for people, not just young people, but people that is living in Baltimore City that want to make a difference, and you're giving them the platform to use their expertise. So thank
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. Hey,
you.
and we got a new, maybe about to be heartbeat if she stay consistent, Yolanda. Today was her first day joining. She had been DMing me for a minute, and I
Okay, we
thought she
like
was
the new one.
bluffing, but Shorty showed up.
Yeah, so welcome to Winnie Wednesday. Welcome to our living room. This is where we have the soul talk of the heart smiles. And this is where you really get to understand why the heart is on Joni jacket. That definitely that we get deep down to it and understand where the red comes from, but it's also work for yourself and it's not for heart smiles. HeartSmiles provide the platform and the expertise, but it's up to you to do the work. So I realized that this week, well, actually, a couple of months, we'll be coming into the holidays. And one thing I thought about, like, what would we need to really focus on coming into the holiday? For one, this is a different holiday. We are in a pandemic. And for two, a lot of people lost a lot this year. And a lot of people are dealing with a lot when it comes to depression. And what I realized is that a lot of time in holidays, there will be people in our family that we know when they come around, they do something to us that make us uncomfortable. That sometimes we have to sit around and laugh, right? And be a part of the family during the holidays when we know we are sometimes broken, sitting at the table with everybody else and nobody don't understand why. So we're going to get deep to I want to get you prepared for that dinner when you have to sit in front of somebody at the table who did something to you that hurt you, but you still have to show up every holiday and just put a smile on because they family. So we want to prepare you for those dinners. Be good?
Yes, we love it, man. We love it.
Let me know about the comments before I get started.
Yes, we got Latanya is new too.
That's my friend Latanya. Hi, Latanya.
Oh, that's your friend. Hey, Latanya. We like newbies.
Yes, please let your baby
How
girl
good this
listen. Her
sister.
daughter has a lip line, a lip gloss line. Yes, and she's only 7 or 8, has a lip gloss line. I will make sure I will ask her to drop that website in the comments so y'all could definitely support this young lady. She's 7, 8 years old and she's doing her thing. So
That's awesome. And also connect with Tay, because Tay do the lip gloss and all that
yes,
stuff like that. And
definitely.
we
So
be
that
so
way,
conditioned to competition that we forget we gotta work together
and
and
that'll
build
be
each
a
other. Like
great.
that would be
And
amazing.
honestly, then I'm glad you said that. That'd be a great combination because she's a young lady, and she could show her about the business and about the lip gloss line in the industry, and especially the mom can learn as well. So all of this was a great connection.
Yeah. Boss moves, y'all. Let's do it.
That's what we
Tay,
do.
you've been promoted to mentor now because he be selling out.
Oh
I
wow.
need to
Okay,
get my lips shiny with whatever it is because he be selling out.
Joni, I never seen you lip lining, but okay. You know you like the little Vaseline, the one finger. We be at meetings. I never seen her. You know, never. Okay.
I'm just saying, only for Dante, yo. Only for Dante.
Auntie, please make sure that she take a picture of that. Okay, putting that on. That's gonna be hilarious. So I'm sorry, y'all know when you're in the living room, this when a Wednesday, we in our living room having family talk. That's what we do. So one of the things that I seen on Facebook that I thought I was wanted to share with the family today, it definitely took again, we want to prepare you to having these conversations or not having a conversation, but just being in a different mindset when when we go to family houses for Christmas and Thanksgiving is usually time we have someone in the family that did something to us in our past that sometimes still be with us every day. And it's like, I still got to come in here and smile knowing that this person did this, right? And what we want to do is just let you know that it's okay, but we also want you to understand we don't want you to feel those feelings this year when you're sitting down with these people in front of you. We want you to understand that you are loved, and all of those things are the past, and we're going to prepare you for that level of thinking on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on New Year, so that now you're no longer a prison of that abuse that you dealt with that person in your life. Any comments before I move on? Because y'all know I'm deep.
Mm.
I didn't take it off Facebook. So you
Deep,
know this.
deep, yo, Breezy, you put the exclamation points in there. Breezy, I'm about to put the hot face in there, yo. Like, hear that little thing, be like, yeah, yo, you
So one
just,
of the things that I seen this post and I wanted to share it because it's, again, we always going to give you tools because we thinking about Thanksgiving, December. That's most of the time. A lot of deaths happen, suicide. A lot of people get depressed on that time. So we want to make sure you get you some tools. But one thing that I realized with reading this post I'm about to share was I was one of those people, and I'm about to say what it says: the ability to receive support from others. And that was me, where it was like, I'm independent, I'm strong, I don't need anybody. I don't want anybody, Would Beyonce, you independent girl, that's was me, every song. I indeed, that was all me, right? And then as I got older and I got to understand how life works and doing a lot of reading on mental health and just psychology and understand who I am, I realized um, it was something that I was protecting when I say that I was independent, but I never knew what it was until I read this post. And it says, the inability to receive support from others is a trauma response.
mm.
I thought that was
Can I
good.
tell you what Breezy said?
Yes, Breezy, tell me because I can't see.
She said, I read a suicide note from this girl on IG today about something like that. And I hate when people got to go through these things alone.
Exactly. But you know what, Breezy? Let me tell you how alignment works, right? You seen that today that gave you aware that you know that people are hurting. And now you on this call to give tools out in a way you can support your friend, not in a way to say, I need you to do this, but now you can have some conversations and some tools to help them go through this. And maybe if you need, Joni definitely has some resources for suicide. So definitely reach out. This is why this was there for me. I didn't, when I read it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I go back to this page to have this conversation on Wednesday because it really hit my heart. Because I was like, I'm thinking, because based on society, it tells us to be independent women, right? But not understanding that it's something that's deep down and that's really a survival tactic. And I didn't know that until I really got deep into what does it mean when it says that's a trauma response. What you have to say, Joni?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Taylor said same that she read something like that too. Like this is crazy, man. I mean, I know the holidays are hard for a lot of people, but sheesh, you I guess you kind of forget and take it for granted when you're not experiencing it yourself until other people start to, talk
And
about it.
now you have to think about it too. We have the pandemic, so that's a little more harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want our young people, because I know for me how I was as a young person sitting across every year of somebody that I know was an abuser. And I had to still sit, smile, and come to events and love the family and still smile. But the whole time I was hurting in silence. And because I felt that, and I understand, because remember, we talked about a weeks ago about feeling, the understanding you have to feel these emotions. A lot of time we say, I don't want to feel it, and we don't feel it. And then it comes back deeper or later in a deeper place where now you are so out of it that you can't even control your own emotions. So I say we gotta feel. So as soon as you feel the emotion, you have to feel it. You have to understand it. You have to try to breathe to get the air in. You have to take it in because we've been doing too much when they told us, oh no, just keep it, get up, man, keep moving. That is true. But we got to stop and take the time to understand what our body doing at that time physically, because when we just keep it moving, it's like we blacked out in our mental space and we just pushing.
Yo. Breezy just made a powerful point, and it's crazy because Bree, I just recently was dealing with that with somebody. She said, I just don't understand like how parents don't notice things or don't believe their children when they tell them things such as someone hurt me or someone touched me.
So Breezy can
That's crazy.
so Breezy, I understand. I know people who experience that a lot. I know that in our community, we experience that a lot because I think we don't want to take the responsibility that I didn't protect. But then also, we don't know the history of the person that we told. We don't know if that happened to them and they never said anything and they never blocked it out. You don't know their experiences. So I always tell young people, I apologize if you feel like your parents may not open up about their experience or their past. Is maybe because they may be embarrassed, they don't want to tell you, or just sometimes they just don't know how to deal with it themselves. Like, I'm just a different type of parent, whereas though because of who I am and what I've been through, I want to be able to provide these tools to my bloodline. But you don't have people that really wants to understand their mental health and understand their trauma. So that's where they try to miss it. Again, you have grown people. I don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna keep it moving. But what happens is, just like you said, when we keep it moving, we don't deal with it. It seeks down into our bloodlines, and then now our children can't get nothing because they keep it moving because that's what we taught them.
Mm-hmm. Um, Dante had an important comment too. He said, my friend had and still puts cuts on her wrist. She just needs help, mental help. And I helped her with all them suicidal emotions. And I put myself in her school. Mm.
Wow, you did a lot of sacrificing. Well, so first you thank you. um all I could say is we gonna have to provide some resources, and maybe Joni, like maybe something simple. I know Trina and them had something where it's a little book where just a suicide. Was that homeless or suicide? It was suicide. Well, maybe we could give these out because I know the numbers are increasing. People are dying in silence. And if we not having these conversations, then who is?
Mm. Yo, you got some important comments. Let me read your
Yeah, because
comments.
I did, yeah, because they got it. I was gonna get you my lesson, but this is more important. Come on, let's roll.
Yeah. Cam was saying that it can save us some embarrassment though, like when you was talking
Mhm.
earlier about suppressing those things. But Karan said, I went through a situation with a friend of mine that had suicidal thoughts and emotions. Luckily, I was able to help them and change their mentality for the better, but it was a very emotional experience.
Because the person who is the basically therapist or counselor or coach, you also yourself, if you just giving, eventually your energy and your mental health is going to change, right? And so I love the fact y'all doing the peer and peer, but please find a trusting adult, because what I don't want is somebody getting overwhelmed to support somebody else. So now we got a triple effect, because now I'm trying to support Joni, and Joni, she has her trauma, then I have my trauma, but I'm constantly trying to come to you and support you, but I don't even really have nothing to give. I'm borrowing off of old energy. So we
Yeah.
have these. This is why having Winter Wednesday, having these conversations. This is why we have to do this, to talk through this as a community, not as an individual.
Yeah. Bree said, this topic brings tears to my eyes because I know someone who went through something like this for years, and it took her parents so long to believe her when it was so many signs. Sheesh.
Yeah, and it's sad, and that's the story. Because you know what? Let's be real. We come from a community when we say that we don't trust therapists. It was designed for us to say we don't trust therapists. We don't want nobody in our business. All of those things that we did, we've really buried ourselves in a space where we just alone, where basically that we do not have no connection to, no resources or support. Not understanding these are the things that we were told. We don't want people in our business. We don't want that. Whole time we were removing ourselves for getting support for mental health. I want you to understand what messages is in our community is on purpose. When they realized they could put that in our community to say, no, y'all don't need no therapist. You good. Or y'all don't need to talk. Just keep it going. They understand what that looks like. But I guarantee you, The people who tell us that, their children go to therapy. When they hit their home, it's different how they move. So we have to make sure that we constantly are having this, being aware and have this conversation. And that's why I didn't want to start this in Thanksgiving. I mean, in November, no, my Thanksgiving. I thought we needed to have a month because I felt like we have to get our mind right first before we even get into November.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a bunch of comments, sis. You got a bunch of them.
All right.
Taylor said it be the parents not believing them. For me, sometimes kids get put out because their mothers think they lying. Breezy said this generation needs way more support from parents. Like parents don't understand that one really long talk could fix so much. Yolanda said we need to start by learning how to talk to someone and express
Amen.
your feelings because we need to start having conversations about and noticing the little things now.
So again, I always apologize on the behalf of the parents because I am a parent, and I don't never want you to ever feel like, as a parent, that we don't understand. Let me just say this: every parent has their own thing. Before they had a child, they had a life. They had experiences. They had their own trauma. They had their own things that they had to go through without a child. So then, when you put a child in, besides what I've been through before my child, now I have to give God this child, but I have some blockage because of my own trauma. And I'm not going to share that because I don't want to scare my child about the world. So it's so many things that we could put around to why parents do what they do. But because we don't have access to parents right now, HeartSmiles, all we could do is make sure that y'all are great, right? And that y'all are changing the story and y'all are moving. That now that mom, yes, she not listening, but guess what? We might not listen, but we watch. So you can't come and tell me you're gonna do this and this and then think I'm gonna listen, and the next week you walking around ain't doing nothing. Right? That you gotta show them differently. This is a different level of generation that we are in. Like, so for me, I grew up when they said there was the crack baby time, right? So y'all parents come from, they call that the crack baby area, right? So that's my era. So these are your parents that you're working with, like real stuff, right? Some of us has been exposed while to drugs and never even, I swear, me and Trina was just talking about this, how some of us has been exposed to drugs from our parents from that time, where we have disabilities that we ain't even know we have. And we wonder why we have so many issues sometimes.
Mm. Yeah, I
Right?
was just telling somebody that's why part of the reason why I never even wanted to experience drugs or none of that, because I seen what it did to my family. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere near that. Absolutely not.
That's right. And so we have this platform now where when I was young, it was no platform where you can go and have real conversations and say, you know what, y'all, I'm having a hard time. My mama getting high and I'm trying to get up and go to school every day, but ain't nobody waking me up. I'm doing this myself. It was no conversations for me for that. I had to figure it out. So what I decided to do as I get older, I'm gonna create spaces. And it was something this lady said that I like. She said, I don't create spaces to have a seat at the table and have people have a voice. I create spaces for other people to come and have their own voice at the table, and I create other tables for them to start facilitating what their tables looks like. Right? Because if we not a part, and honestly, if we ain't at the table, we on a menu. What that mean? If you ain't sitting at the table making decisions, most of the time they're making decisions about you and your community and your mental health and your poverty and your schools. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
just
yo, no, I love it. Hey, listen,
all around. And we ain't even get to the
I was
lesson, but that's all right.
I was just talking about things that relate to that early this morning because I was doing this conference. This conference, yo,
I know I'm supposed to be going,
is
remember, so I can get the treatment. Remember the free waters. I can, you say I ain't want it. I was like, I do. But yeah, we talk about that later.
hey, yo, you crazy. No, but yo, it was with all of the play because they were streaming on different things. It was like 500 people just on the YouTube, but all together, it was close to like 2,500 people who attended this conference that I talked about, that I talked at, and we were talking about food insecurities, particularly in minority communities. I was the only Black person on the panel. I was the only woman on the panel. I was the only person that came from a minority community
And who was on the
on the
menu
panel.
again? And who was
Yeah,
on the menu?
us.
Right.
And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, yo, thank God I'm here to speak up for the communities, but community needs to be at the table. Like, we are capable of making our own decisions. Like, we get y'all doing stuff with good intentions and all that stuff, and that's cool, but don't nobody need no savior. We need our seat at
And
the
this is the
table.
thing that I love about communities, about Baltimore. Even I don't care where you come from, because even in the midst of my mom addiction, and we still had community, right? It was still, we looked out. What I mean was, if my homegirl mom got hot, girl, what you eating today? Because we eating. You know what I mean? We looked out for each other. It was still a sense. We don't need to be saved. We just need resilience. We don't need to be saved.
Come on now.
Everybody in each community got something to give to build their community. We just need resilience and connections. That's it.
Now.
We don't need nobody to come and tell us what it look like, how it feel, because we've been there. We know that. We walked them rocks. When they said they were the police, we hid. You know what I mean? We know what that looks like. We can build that. But the issue is, when people come, we get excited because we think we're going to get saved. Don't get excited because the agenda they send and they just say, we're going to give you this. Because a lot of times money come with a lot of stuff that's take away from us. Because if they're going to bring certain things in the community, most of the time we ain't going to be in the community when they bring it. Exactly. But if you make sure you stay at the table from the beginning, that's why it's important. Again, y'all young. It's community associations, y'all, in your community that you could pop up in. The issue that I have all the time when I meet with community associations, I look at them and they say, I need y'all to start engaging young people. Because what I really want to say is, because after 2025, there ain't going to be nobody here to run it. Because everybody's at a certain age level. So if my people don't get educated on the mental health and understand their own trauma and getting their stuff together, then now they can walk up in these community meetings and start supporting. And then now we have it. And not only a way of community development as a structure, we development in a mental health standards. That's a different type of standards. All right, I'm sorry. What's the comment saying? Because y'all be...
Man, I love it. No, you ain't gotta be sorry. You do not have to be sorry. Yo, I was just about to tell.
I don't have to be sorry.
No, I was just telling Yolanda about the water. Like, pre-COVID, we used to be at all the fancy little events. Yeah. And I'd be like, no, give me the tap water. I don't want this fancy water.
Not me. Listen, I work hard to get here. I want all the treatment, okay?
Man, you crazy. Yo, Breezy hit it. Breezy said, yo, this generation, most people allow money to take them over and change them. But and what I say all the time, yo, money don't make you. Money exposes who you already are. It amplifies
and what's there. Say something else? Me and somebody had this conversation. I said, what would you rather have, influence and power or money? They said money. I said, I'd rather have influence and power. They said that don't make sense. I said, because if I got power and influence, I don't need money. Everybody gonna do what I do. Want to ask.
And the money gonna come.
And the money gonna come. That's the
whole thing. People gonna be hitting you up. Can I pay you for this? Exactly. And that's I had my meeting with Haya today about public speaking, teaching them just some things that I learned. And I'm like, yo, I never thought that I would ever be a public speaker, especially somebody didn't walk across the high stage, the high school stage. And I used to stutter. I still stutter even now. But people will hit me up. I don't stutter half as bad as I used to when I was younger. But people hit me up that want to give me a check to come and speak at their event. Like, the money will chase you when you chasing your purpose, your dreams, and doing things for the right reasons. You ain't got to worry about money.
You don't. And that's the thing. But see, what Breezy said is true. Because young people see money, they automatically refuse. So for instance, I have a young lady that went to college. She was doing well, had a nice job at Baltimore City, just graduated from high school. She said, you know what? I don't like my boss. I'm gone. I said, oh, you got the job at Baltimore City at headquarters and you gone? You younger than me, right? She like, no, ma, I can't do it. I said, okay, do you? Next thing I know, she working at Amazon. Do you? But what I was trying to explain to her, the job at the headquarters would have got you further. Even though the money at Amazon is good, But I guarantee you, in 5 years, that resume that say BCPS headquarters and Amazon is a different type of job title than it is when you go, in the industry. And not only that, I wanted her to understand too. How long you gonna work at Amazon? At least you can, like how long?
I don't know nobody that liked their Amazon job. Not one person.
I know so many people who like it because they had so much fun. I'm telling you, they go there like it's a. They be like, man, we having a ball, and I be like, okay,
Having doing what?
nothing, socializing,
Yo, shut up. Yo, yo said nothing.
socializing. They said it's like a school, socializing.
Oh,
See,
you ain't going nowhere like that. You ain't climbing no corporate ladders. You
but
ain't.
that's the thing. You got to think about our generation. Our generation think most of them think for the moment. So right now, if I can get some BCI, what's them things called, Bossada? Yeah, what them shoes that cost all that money? That's a B. That's all I know. If I could get them working
Them
at
Balenciagas, they ugly
Balenciaga,
too.
yeah. If I could get them and work at Amazon for a week, guess what? I'm working at Amazon, right? But that's the mindset because the microwave. They call this generation our microwave, right? And that's why we have to, because of how this generation was designed. When you talk about technology and everything else, we as human has to make sure they still have feelings because everything is so moving fast. That's why they say just do what you gotta do and keep it moving. No, that's how they setting our kids up. When you have a young guy who's an African American who's been through so much and he kept it moving, and all it takes is one thing for somebody to say something and he goes off and now he's crazy. So we have to make sure we provide these tools. Anything in the comments, I can go on to my next thing.
Well, your comments is jumping, yo.
Hey, today I am jumping. What they talking about, Johnny?
Your comments is jumping. Hold on. Let me go back because Sports Mom had a very deep comment. She said, thank you all. This is such a real and deep conversation and hits on such a personal level. Our youth and adults need the tools to express feeling and deal with them in a healthy way. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Taylor has said that money is the root of all evil. And I have replied back in the comments and it's like, no, like it's people intentions that's the root of evil. Because we wouldn't be able to do the projects and the stuff that we do without money. Like we are amplifying who we are, people who care about young people who care about community, and people who want to bless other people. I can't bless y'all if I'm broke.
And Trina,
that's why I can't be broke.
Trina said it's the love of money that is the root. Like basically what you were saying. And you're right, you can't. That's a good way.
Yeah. So money is a tool. It's not the purpose. It's not the thing you go after. It's a tool. It's the thing that you use.
I think some of us use money to take away temporary feelings. Do that make sense?
Yeah. When you're looking at it wrong, absolutely. Yeah. And even what Taylor said now, money runs the world, but it makes people do terrible things. Yeah. And that's because that person already had terrible things rooted inside of them. And they use money as the tool to do those things. We using money as our tool to empower young people.
But that is also too, when we thinking, since we thinking in that way, I also want our hobbies to think about too. When we take jobs for certain people too, we got to make sure that it align with what our own values are. Because sometimes you can't take money, you can't say, so for me, for years, I wanted to write a behavior system for the juvenile justice center. And this guy, a real friend, said to me, and I had it all planned out because I used to work down there. He said, this is nice. He said, but I just want to know, what's your value? What do you value? And I said, young people. He said, well, why are you making a system for young people in the juvenile justice center that you know sets our kids up? So I see, I don't got that out because he's checking right then and there. But it was real. Because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm about to get some millions because this is amazing. But once he broke it down and was like, but think about what you're doing. You are part of the criminal system that keeps our people in this mindset. And he went deep. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't catch it at that moment. It took me some while to catch it. And I was like, you know what? It makes sense. Because if I say I value human beings and I value community, I have to make sure when I'm doing things that it align with that in God. Honestly. But I feel like our young people have so much things that's going on, they don't even understand what they value. Mm. And remember, we had this conversation when on Wednesday, I think the beginning of the year or last year, when I said, y'all, guess what? I didn't even know what I value. I had to sit my kids down and say, y'all, let's talk about our values. Because I value family and I value community, but when you have children, it's a different thing because you want to make sure it's a family value system. So when they outside and they representing you, they are showing those same values. But I think we haven't sat with our kids yet and had those conversations. So if we haven't had conversations, how do they have the direction to move? Your values are your guide to your path. So I'm sorry that we have missed a step. Trying to be here, everything. She's trying to make a call, you know.
There you go.
But you know, so we kind of missed a step, and I want us to come back and get to like, what do we value? What hurts our feelings, right? And how do we have conversations where we not offending each other, but we are listening? That's a difference. Because what I realized, I was having conversations where I was giving demands in my home, but when they was talking back, I wasn't listening. So they, whatever they felt, okay, I think about it. If I wasn't listening, I didn't care because it was all about what I said. But at the same time, there's two human beings, regardless of their mother or not, it's still a person that have a feeling. It's still a person who has a heart. It's still a person that can feel disrespected. So I have to take back and I have to realize that. And not say get over it. Because I'm going to tell you what really hurt me this week. That little boy in the county who was 17, who wrote a letter, he killed his stepsister that was 5. And he wrote a letter and said, yes, it's on Murder. I'll send it to you because you're not their friend. They blocked you, but I'll send it. But he wrote a letter and said, I would have killed y'all all, but I know this was going to hurt y'all the most. In my mind, 17, I'm like, how can he live in a house with a mother and a father and your child hated y'all so much that they killed your child? Like, what events happen that you get to the point when your family go to sleep, you go and kill a 5-year-old? Like, something happened. And to leave a note and say, I wanted to kill y'all, but I knew this was going to hurt y'all the most. So that means you intentionally wanted to make sure they felt a pain for the rest of their life. That's what a lot of people go through and they don't talk about.
And this was a 17-year-old kid that did this.
17-year-old kid in the county. I forgot what county. But he took an act of his emotions because he never addressed them or nobody never listened. Or as some people say, you just imagining things. Or go ahead and sit down. You know, I always tell you, get on my nerves. I had to tell my mom when they used to say, stay in the child place, children are to be seen and be heard. Well, that's why a lot of things you know, because I was just to be seen and not to be heard. Then I'm supposed to be seen and not to be heard. So these are the events that we want to make sure that our people have a space to come, even when their parents not listening, say, you know what? I need to let this out. Even though my mom not listening, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. And guess what, y'all? The thing is, it's okay. Like, we've been taught that even boys, if you cry, you're a punk. Why? We've been taught to never show our feelings. Just imagine, how do you walk around with no feelings? You could be a young boy. I see it all the time. Young kids, 2, 3 years old, and a mother or somebody, he might fall. Get up. You ain't no punk. He 3. So you putting this in his mind at 3. So when he cry, wipe your face. So that means every time that young man feel a pain, he got to hurry up and wipe his face and keep it moving. But then when something happened, And then he grow up to be that little boy who killed that other little kid. It's because he never was able to let it out. We all deal with things differently. Everybody is different. Everybody deal with that anger different, but we have to have a chance to release it. That's just what it is. We cannot hold it in. Them days of holding it in, y'all, we gotta stop it. We gotta figure out an outlet. All right, Joni, what they saying? Because you looking real concerned.
Yo, no, because you just broke my heart with that, yo.
Broke my heart too. I'm telling you.
Like, hmm, it ain't even the words for that. Um, Breezy say you can't even have those conversations anymore with everyone because people always take what you say, turn your words against you, and make you look bad or leave the conversation because they can't handle it.
And Breezy, that's absolutely, and that's not even for your age. That's even as adults. That is so true. And that's only because Breezy, again, lack of skills to cope. And what I want us to understand is I don't want y'all to charge it to them being rude. Charge it to their heart. They really don't know how to. Think about it. These conversations was not, you can talk about these. What we talking about? You couldn't have these conversations back then. My mother couldn't go to her mother and have these conversations. So what happened is if you say if my mama couldn't go to her mother, so she don't understand what how it is to deal with stress or how to cope, and she don't know what love feels like and looks like in her way, then here she go have children and she's still searching for her mother love. Now y'all see how it breaks down. So now she has a child that she loves, but she don't really know how to because her mother ain't probably showed to her. Because back then it was children stay in a child's place and we don't tell y'all my business because you're children. But now we in a space when children now can sit right beside you next door and run a whole house and be in the 12 and be 12 years old and can run a whole house. And I ain't talking about financially, but I'm talking about making sure their little sister get up in the morning, make sure their food was in there because their parents running doing whatever. It's a different type of children. They come out as leaders. Sometimes we birth our children and get them too much responsibility, so they grow up already knowing. So we got to give our kids some more credit. These kids that coming out now, they are genius. And if we don't guide them, especially how the world is going, they are our next leaders. So we don't give them no tools to how to get into who you are and how to address these traumas and how to address the things in your life. I don't know what it's going to look like in about 10, 15 years. I'm afraid. Because if ain't nobody going to college, who's going to be a doctor? If ain't no, I mean, we're going to have a lot of McDonald's workers and trash truck drivers. But like, I don't know. I'm confused. Like, who's going to talk to me when I'm getting older and I need a therapist? Who's going to fill the pharmacies? Like we got to get back into putting our young people in a position in the community when they in these job description where people could say, oh, that's Miss England behind the pharmacy thing. How you doing, Miss England? Like, we got to do that. We got to do that. So what they saying for, I'm trying to get it in, yo. I'm trying, but.
Yo, it's real. No, it's too real. Jada had an important comment. She said it's hard to disconnect yourself with your feelings and try to feel again. She said, I know from experience that I would push my emotions away, which made me numb. And sometimes the only thing I could feel was anger. And Taylor said,
that's what happens. That's why we gotta feel, because once you start pushing it and pushing it, it goes into the aggressive, and all you're going to feel is anger because you're not addressing it. So every time somebody do something, it's a trigger.
Mm-hmm. Taylor said, I was taught all my life to stay in a child's place, and I'm still trying to figure out where that place is. It was so many times in situations where I could have helped just by saying one word.
And because Taylor, you're a child, that's okay. But Taylor, keep doing you. Because what's going to happen, that's why I said, y'all can't, I don't want y'all to be the mom. You say, people don't listen to us when we talk. I get that. Talk to somebody or find a trusted adult. But when it comes to family, keep doing you. Because one thing I learned about family, they will say what they want about you. They will talk about you, but they will watch you. And what I mean by that is As much as they dug you or abandoned you and do all that, they will watch you. So when you change your behaviors after years, they come to you and say, how did you do that? Because they watched you. Not because you said, like, I never said and said I was going to do this and do that. I mean, people come because they watch and they seen the change in their mindset, and people want peace. Because I'm going to tell y'all, once you get all this ain't nothing but peace. Peace. Is it when I can walk into a space of knowing that all of these people probably did something to me that hurt a feeling in me. And I can walk in the room and speak to all of them and know they can't stand me, or they know they still speak, but you know you got the people that have the hinder agendas. If when I walk in a room with them people, it doesn't bother my soul. It doesn't make me feel uncomfortable because I addressed it and I come in with peace. What happens though, it disturbs theirs because they trying to figure out what they decide in their head what I look like or who I supposed to be, that I'm supposed to come be miserable. But I'm at peace. So it disturbed their peace. And so that's what would happen. And you're going to be understanding that people are going to be looking at you different because their peace disturbed. Their peace disturbed because they no longer can take your peace.
Mm-hmm.
And their spirit felt it when you walk in a room and said, oh, hold up. She's somebody else. We don't know who this is. She done found something else. And guess what? I smiles because it happens all the time and it shows people true colors. Because I tell y'all, if you always be nice, the truth will always come out because people can't take it. If you constantly always I don't care if they disrespect you, you still I appreciate it, keep it moving. But it's all about peace. You don't let nobody take your peace. I'm 41. I have been unhappy for almost 9 years of my life. And
Unhappy?
I'm not unhappy, but just unease. I wasn't never at peace. And I don't want to say all that long because I was a kid. So I'm gonna say for about 20 something, right? It was something missing where I would have peace, but it was something that was just something could trigger somebody coming. I know they don't like me, or their energy, it will trigger me, right? To have a full peace now, y'all, I can't even explain it. It is amazing, right? It is amazing to know what you say don't matter, how you kill matter, what you done to me, that me and you probably know that you done, that you know you hurt me, don't even hurt no more. I'm over it. But that's what peace looks like. And this is what we have to make sure that our young people get it. I want y'all to get it. This is the brilliant generation. This is this generation, I believe, that could change bloodline, that could change mindset and break off some change off of your bloodline. What I mean, break off change, I mean, if you had addiction in your family, if you had sex abuse, any abuse, it's time for you to break it. Right? If you seen your parents go through it, when we say change it, it's saying, I said, I don't want to go through that. So I want something different. That means that you decided that this right here ain't going to seep into where I'm going with my children. That's what we're talking about, breaking the bloodline. When we talk about a legacy, when you are able to stand up and you had worked with yourself and you have got yourself in a place where you understand your passion and you want to leave something on earth, right? And we ain't talking about your tombstone. We're not talking about none of that. When we talk about when you die, people could say, you remember Taylor from HeartSmiles? Yo, she was dope. That's what you want. You want people to be like, you remember so-and-so? Yo, she did that. That's what it's about. Because now you're leaving a legacy. You having a conversation, but we can't do that because we can't even look in ourselves because we our own enemy. We can't even look in the mirror. We can't even say we sorry to our one another. We can't even say we apologize. I know my first journey of doing getting peace was a part of that was me being real honest and apologizing to those that I knew that I love, that I will ride or die for, and say, if I ever did anything to disrespect you, I'm sorry. Or people that I love, if I knew after I got these tools that I hurt their feelings, that I had to come back and have a conversation. because I knew that this person was so valuable to me as a friend. I can't lose you. And if that means that I had to admit that I was wrong, then I have to do that. And that's the work that I have to work on. It don't have nothing to do with the person. It has to do with you. Because you have to understand that even those that really hurt you, you have to forgive them, not tell them, but just having a conversation and writing it down and forgive them. Because when we don't forgive them, we're giving them the power to make us feel every time they come around. We're giving them the power to make us feel uncomfortable. And that's what we don't want. So we got to understand feeling is fine. It's just, what are your coping skills when you do feel? That's the thing.
Oh, Jada got a very important question. Yo. You got to go in on this one. She said, how do I forgive so I can have my own peace? And she was saying how she want inner peace so bad because she's not happy. I got too much to say on that.
I know, me too. But Jada, first, you got to forgive yourself. Can't forget nobody and forget yourself. I know for me, that was the hardest thing. Everybody said, forget yourself, forget yourself. What, girl? I had to forgive myself. Because I know I did some things that for myself that now I look at that as when I talk about my values. See, first, Jada, sit down and think about what you value. What are your values moving forward? And then, excuse me, align that with your actions that you did in the past. That's when you come to forgiving yourself. Because you realize that you went outside of your values to either please people, to be somebody else, or just to be a part of. And when you forgive yourself for those things, you can forgive others. But it's not saying you need to go to a person who did something traumatic and say, yo, I forgive you. No. It means you have a conversation with yourself, your higher power, or you write down in a journal of why you forgiving that person. And what it may sound like, oh, it's not, I'm not feeling it now. It's a process. These feelings been in you for years, baby. That's why they so bundled up, because you never felt them. That's why you going around so not at peace, because you ain't addressing it. And one thing I always say when I pray over my children, get them no peace until they find God. That's what I say. So I feel like a lot of people just don't have no peace because they have to figure out why they ain't got no peace. We can't keep looking at everybody. I can't go to Joni and say, Joni, I don't know why I ain't got no peace. Because Joni don't know what my experience is. She don't know what I go through when I'm behind these closed doors, right? Joni can give us she can give us tools, she can give us resources. But it's up to us to take care of this body. It's up to us to maintain who we are. It's up to us as human beings to get in tune to what we have been downloaded with, and that's our brain and our souls. And a lot of time, we will run away from getting in tune with our souls, but we'll connect to the brain because sometimes the brain bring the money. But if you don't do the work in the soul, because you skip the spot, you're going to always come back and your soul will always take a hit. Your brain might bring, your bank account might be going up, but your mental health is declining. So we got to remember that.
Yo.
So I'm going to say this. Y'all had me on a roll today. I just want, so my last verse is really long, but because I want to say it and I want us to seek it in. And I want us to just something for yourself. When I read it, I was like, ooh, this is real. And we will touch it next week. But I just want us to think about it. It says, I don't need anyone. We always say, I don't need nobody. I could do this alone. I'll just do it all myself. I used to be there. I do it by myself. I don't need no help. It's a condition, it's a survival technique. That's what they call it. And you need it to shield your heart from abuse. So when we say, I can do it by myself, I don't need no help, we really is shielding ourselves because we are afraid of being abused, neglected, betrayed, or disappointed from those who might do it, that will have access to do those things to us. So a lot of times we say, no, I don't want to do it because we don't even want that access of hurt to come through betrayal, neglect, abuse, or disappointment. That's true. That's true. From the parent who was absent and abandoned, you by choice are the parent who was never home from working 3 jobs to feed and a house and house shoes. So what does that mean? When you have a parent, you have a child that says, I feel abandoned. But then you have a parent who probably have to work 3, 4 jobs to make sure that child eats. And because they never really had a conversation of why they feel abandoned, this is because the child like, mommy don't care, but mommy might be tired, baby. She got a lot on the plate. She might just be a little tired. And it's hard to have a teenager these days and still try to work 2, 3 jobs and still try to be on top of a teenager and then don't let have no other children that go to school and they online. Yeah, I don't even want to get to that. But we have to. From the friendships and family who always took more than they ever gave. How many people we know always took more than they ever gave? And we still gave them access to us. From the situations when someone told you, we in this together, or I got you, and then abandoned you, leaving you to pick up the pieces when shit got real, leaving you to handle your part and their part too. Think about it. Even when y'all in class and you might get a teammate and they like, yo, I got you, we got this, and they never come through, and then they get real. So now you got to do their part and your part too. From all the lies and all the betrayals, you learned along the way that you just can't really trust people, or that you could trust people, but only up to a certain point. If I don't put myself in a situation where I rely on someone, I won't have to be disappointed when they don't show up for me, when they drop the ball, because they always drop the ball eventually. So a lot of people I hear, especially when I'm at school, a kid like, I ain't even gonna tell my family I'm graduating. What? And I be like looking crazy, but you know why? Because they're afraid that their family might say they can't make it. So they make up excuse. Well, I ain't gonna tell so and so this. Why? Because they're afraid that the person won't show up. 4 more minutes. You may even have been intentionally taught that this protection strategy by generations of hurt ancestors who came before you. So what they saying is your ancestors that came before you in your bloodline, a lot of time experienced a lot of trauma. So we talk about our ancestors that's in slavery. Do you think they ever had a chance to sit down and have these conversations? To talk about how they've been raped, how they've been taken away from their children. And the conversations really haven't happened. So what happened, those secrets goes into the next bloodline, to the next bloodline, and they seeks down. So now what happens? We've been through all this and we don't trust anyone. We don't, and you don't trust yourself either. And that's how with a lot of times. Why we scared of success? Because we don't trust ourselves that we can make it.
Okay.
Hold up, sis, you went out. What happened?
Tiara, did you put, what happened?
There we go.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
No, was she on your stuff?
Go back. Yeah, I was on my stuff. Tell me where I messed up.
We ain't get none of that, yo.
So listen, I said a lot of time we don't even trust ourselves. Not enough nobody else. And I said that because we don't trust ourselves. That shows up when people are afraid of success. Because they're afraid that they don't trust themselves, they can make it to greatness. I want you to understand how all of that aligns to how we are putting these barriers around us from success, our passion, all of that is aligning. And it all gets us here. So you don't trust anyone. So I'm going to keep going because I want to say this. The good news is trauma that is acknowledged is trauma that can be healed. So that's the blessing. Once we acknowledge the trauma, we can heal it. And then you will understand and you will know you are worthy of having support. You are worthy. Because once you understand that what the trauma is and you identify, you understand you are worthy to be healed. You're worthy to get support to make sure that your trauma be addressed. You're worthy of having true partnerships. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of having your heart held. We are worthy of being adored and cherished. You're worthy to receive. You're worthy. You don't have to earn it. That's the issue. We think we got to earn people's trust. And you don't have to prove it. That's another issue. We always think we got to prove something. We ain't got to prove nothing. We don't have to earn it, and you don't have to bargain for it, and you don't have to beg because you are worthy. And I need us to understand it. And next week, we're going to talk about how we don't have to earn it, how we don't have to prove it, how we don't have to bargain. Why do I have to bargain about my trauma or about my healing? And why do I have to beg for somebody to forgive me for something? No. So what we're going to leave with is this Christmas and Thanksgiving going to be different. You're going to walk in the same, you're going to look the same, but your trauma and peace is going to look different. And we're going to prepare you for that. And I'm looking forward to this. This is a big task, but we're looking forward to ensuring that we go through this together and you're not alone. I love you guys with all my heart. Continue to be your best. Continue to show up and continue to join us in our living room every Wednesday. Love you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Miss England. Yo, this is amazing, yo. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all next week.
All right, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Love you, sis.
Love you more.
Bye bye.
Yo, don't Miss England bring the heat, yo. Who else just got their whole life called out, yo? Yo, Miss England always bring it. Important conversations, yo. And it's important to have these type of conversations, y'all, because we can't even get to talking about success, entrepreneurship, building a business, building an empire, doing all these great things that we want to do in life if we haven't dealt with the things inside of ourselves. And that's why, Jada, when you had said that comment about like how sometimes you got problems, like you got like money problems that only money can fix. It wasn't exactly that, but it was something like that that you had said. Like when this type of stuff is dealt with and you are good on the inside, your outside is going to reflect that, and you ain't going to have to worry about no money. And I promise you, those type of people that got those problems where they think, oh, I got money problems and I need money to fix those problems, that's a broke person's mentality. And I need y'all to get out of that mentality. No, when people got money problems and money issues, it's not a money problem that's going to fix that. I could give people that's struggling right now financially, I could give them $1 million and I guarantee you they will still find themselves in the same place. Why? Because it's a mindset issue. Because if money fixed all problems, then, or if money even fixed money problems, we wouldn't have even celebrities who are committing suicide and people with all this money still finding themselves in a ditch. Like even when you look at people, y'all might be a little too young for this, but people like MC Hammer, who had literally billions of dollars, net worth went all the way down to zero because of the type of mindset that he had. His mindset wasn't in a place to where as though he could sustain himself. And just as easy as success can help you, success will also hurt you and even do more damage if you're not ready for that type of success. Because then once you get into that type of world of being successful, it will break you down and you will be worse off even before you got success if you haven't dealt with these type of things. Very important question again, Jada. So changing my inside should change my outside. Where do I start within? Yes. And that is why I take so much time to be cussing y'all out and to be doing all this stuff to help make you see that it is the inside stuff that matters. And the outside is going to reflect what's on the inside. That's why people can be so happy and so content even when they don't have no money, because they ain't worried about nothing, because things are taken care of, because they are at peace and they are content with themselves. And Jada, I would honestly refer back to the conversation that you and I was having even earlier about like, where do you start within? Finding your purpose and finding your passion, especially when you at that like 18 and plus age, because now things are accelerated for you to be independent, and you really don't have the luxury of time to get yourself together. Like, you really got to get yourself together because you about to be taking care of yourself for real. But really finding what is your passion, what sets your soul on fire, what do you really want to do with your life, with yourself, and then start having your actions reflect that. You can't sit up here and tell me that you want to be a lawyer, that's your passion, you want to study law, you want to help people in that field, but then be wrapped up in the blanket. No, you got to be wrapped up in them books. You got to be wrapped up in things that people in that career do. People in that career are constantly studying, constantly learning. They in class, day in and day out. They with their professors, they writing papers. You got to do the things that support what you say you want to do. And one of the most tragic things that we can do is to kid ourselves and try to fool ourselves into thinking that we about to have this successful life and we about to do all these great things. Yeah, we saying it, but what action are you putting behind it? What are you actually doing to put yourself in that position? And a lot of us, we either ain't doing nothing to put ourselves in the position that we want to be in, or we just simply ain't doing enough to put ourselves in that position. And that's where even more trauma and drama and depression and disappointment is inflicted, because now we done pumped ourselves up to think we about to do something and we about to have this type of life, but then reality kick us in the butt and reminds us that we ain't been putting in the work. And that's why even with some of these opportunities, it might not necessarily be the opportunity that you want. It might not be your dream opportunity, but it's an opportunity to use as a stepping stone to get you closer to where you want to be. And when you just pissing on these opportunities, not doing nothing with them, you can't be surprised when you stuck in the same ditch. Like, you just can't. You just can't. And y'all know me, like, yo, I'm a real person, but I was serious about when I said broke people can't help broke people. And that's why I can't be broke, because I gotta be able to help people, but help people who really want to help themselves, provide opportunities for people who really want to have those opportunities and do something with those opportunities, because next it's going to be your turn to start providing opportunities. It's going to be your turn to start blessing people and to start helping other people. And you can't do that if you ain't making no progress forward. But yo, we way past our time, yo. I gotta shut up. We way past our time. Make sure y'all connect with Taylor with this Healing Youth Alliance event, because it's all about mental health. And they are going to be talking with institutions and organizations who are in charge of making decisions for y'all, people who are in charge of working with y'all. And not only are they going to be dishing out like all this good information that those people need to know, but they're also going to put themselves in a position to where so they're going to get contracted, meaning they about to get paid to go out and do this work. So if this mental health conversation interests you at all, then hook yourself up with Taylor so that way you can be involved with what the Healing Youth Alliance is doing. And once we graduate these leaders, if you want to be the next person to get into that program, which is a paid program, and Breezy can tell you about it too, because she's a part of that program, and also Cam, it's a paid program for you to be able to learn and then go out and make your money. Now, back to this real quick, because I got to go, y'all. Told you I'm trying to do some blessings, right? Told you I'm trying to do some blessings. I'm trying to spend this. But we got to spend it on something productive, y'all. I'm about to get ready to hire a few youth leaders to do some sessions around voter education. And I don't care if you're not 18. People who are 18, you are obligated though to at least get 1 to 2 more people to sign up for that party box and for them to commit to voting, people 18 and older. But for anybody that's not 18 or older, you still got a commitment too. And your commitment is to, number one, make sure the people in your household are getting one of those party boxes and that they are committing themselves to vote. But then also for you to get at least one other person outside of your household, get them to commit to getting one of those party boxes and vote, y'all. I put it on my story. It is so important that we do the right thing this election season, y'all. We all will be impacted if we don't do the right thing. So we all gotta do every little thing that we can do. Jada J, I see you. Can I do this? I'm also registered. Yo, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see it. All I know is I'm trying to spend some money and I'm trying to hire some people to hold some of these sessions. And we're probably gonna do some of these sessions in some of these spaces. So like right after Winning Wednesdays, we'll probably use a Thriving Thursday to do it, and maybe like another day. But we're gonna do a couple of them leading up to election day. But I want people who are serious, y'all. Like people who are really serious about helping to make an impact. And even if your impact is only 10 people, then hey, that's 10 more people on the bandwagon that we didn't have before. But I need people who are going to be committed. And this is why I fuss with y'all so hard about how you handle some opportunities that you get. Because if you mishandle the opportunity already, how can I trust you with an important opportunity? It don't make you a bad person. And I'm not saying that nobody is a bad person, but all I'm saying is that like this stuff is important. And your track record matters, and how you handle things in the past, like that stuff matters. And like people be getting mad when I don't post opportunities. I just straight go and give them to the people that I want to have the opportunities. But it's because those people have shown that they have earned it. And when they had opportunities their way, they didn't make excuses. They didn't drop the ball. They made sure that they took that opportunity, did something great with it, and kept the door open for other people. So with stuff like this, like, yo, you got to make sure that you're serious and that you're ready and that you ain't just doing it for the money. Because like I said, yo, if all you're doing it for is the money, that's a broke mentality. That's a broke person's mindset, and you don't want that type of mindset. You want to do stuff because your heart is truly invested. You want to do stuff because you really care about the impact and you really care about the purpose. Don't chase no money, y'all. Don't chase no money. Put yourself in position and you let that money chase you. You let that money chase you. And the only way you're going to do that is to make sacrifices. Do stuff when it's hard to do. Do stuff when you don't feel like doing it. Get up and still get it done anyway. Take advice from people who are trying to push you in the right direction. Yo, I can talk. And if I give somebody advice and they choose not to take that advice, yo, then that's on you. You're going to have to live with that consequence. Yes, everybody got their own life to live, yo, but take advice from somebody that know what they talking about. Somebody that ain't out here chasing no money, yo, that got the money chasing them and using that money to give it back to you. Yo, y'all ain't ready for this conversation. I'm getting off this live. I'm way past my time, yo. I hope somebody took something from this conversation, yo. I'm out. Be on the lookout, yo. Get people to sign up for them party boxes. If you got people to sign up for them party boxes, yo, hit me and let me know. Repost it, tag me, all that. But I'm out here because y'all not ready for this real conversation, yo. I'll see y'all tomorrow if y'all gonna be on Thriving Thursdays. I'll see you Friday if you're gonna be on Focus Friday. Yo, go do something productive, yo. See y'all.